Probably not exactly what you were expecting. I guess I kind of hinted at it. I got the low-cal buns with a pack of tuna on each one. And then I got a little thing of just like salmon sushi with no rice on it from Kroger. And I'm not thinking to myself, okay, I want to eat about 3 ounces of salmon because the omega-3s are going to be good. I'm just thinking, I think that's going to taste good, right? You can eat what you want, but you've got to be careful about it. You know, like it's not like I couldn't, go to fucking Wendy's and get another spicy chicken sandwich, but I got to be able to accept the fact that that's 500 calories all at once. And it honestly might not make me feel that full for that long. Eating in terms of maintaining a baseline level of let's just say satiation, right? Like being full. I would not want to start off the day with like 100 grams of carbs worth of like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Because then I'm going to have a big blood sugar spike. And once it crashes, I'm going to be hungry again. I'm not concerned with that on a bulk. I'm trying to eat a ton of food. But if I'm cutting down, I don't want to have too many crazy like blood sugar fluctuations from eating like a bunch of sweets at once. So that's why most of the carbs I'm eating are a little bit more, complex, like from the breads. And even then, I'm hardly getting any from the breads. So I've only got 840 calories down so far after I eat both of these. So 56 grams of carbs. I'll definitely want to eat one more time before I go train. Maybe have a little bit of a carb heavier meal. Because, I'm not so concerned with it. When I'm bulking up, I want to have like 400, 500 grams of carbs in me from, the whole day before the lift even starts. But since I've only got like 250, 300 to play with for the diet, I'm not just going to slam all 300 before training. I still got to eat some later on. So the timing isn't so crazy important in the sense of like having a ton of food beforehand. Really what I'm focusing on is having an even spread of my food throughout the day. Because if you eat a ton of your fucking let's say you do the macro tracker, you do have a plan, you know your calorie limit if you want to lose fat. If you bust through half of it before noon, you're probably not going to have that much fun for the rest of the day, because then you got to be pretty careful. So I guess I'm kind of lying. I don't really spread it out super like super evenly. I probably am a little bit more sparse in the morning, and then I'd say I eat most of my food around, noon onward. Because the last thing you want to do is go to bed hungry, because then you're just asking for it to go downstairs and just scarf down something. And it's fucking hard to just take one scoop of ice cream. I've said this before. This is a classic dieting situation. You go down to the freezer, you're looking at the thing of vanilla ice cream. Okay, I'll just have one scoop, and I'll even weigh it. I'll enter the macros. It's okay. Come on. You want to prevent that situation from even starting. But I'm going to eat this. I got to edit the video for what would be for you yesterday. And then we can cut to the next meal. And that'll probably be the last one I eat before I go hit back. What the heck am I saying? Before I go hit arms. There we go. I've seen the kitchen be messier than this. We don't need to make note of it. But this is a secret. This is a little secret. I haven't seen this before, but I'll like you enough, I'll tell you. I like you enough, I'll tell you about it. So basically, 3 of the little low-carb buns. I'm not going to try to do the math right now. I'll do it before I go sit down and eat it. So 3 of these buns. This is a powdered peanut butter. So, 1 tablespoon, like 1 little scoop of peanut butter, like you'd spread on a sandwich. It's got like 16 grams of fat, dude. That is not nothing. That is a considerable amount of calories. 16, that makes what? Nearly 150? 150 grams of 150 grams of calories. 150 calories right there with just 1 little scoop of peanut butter? Not ideal, not very efficient. That's completely against the logic of, my style of dieting, which is trying to eat foods that are not calorie dense. So this powdered PB Fit, this is a fucking go-to. So this is the quarter cup, so the equivalent of 4 tablespoons. So that's 2. So I'll do 3 servings of, or is it 3 or? Yeah, I'll do 3 servings of this. I left my food scale at home when I went home for the weekend, so I've got to do the next best thing, which is measuring it out, by volume, which really is not. Actually, I'll do 4 servings, which is really not that. It's not as accurate, and also it's just more of a hassle because you got to think now. I need to find my specific measuring cup and like kind of balance it out so it's even. I mean, just no fun. Whereas if you have a scale, and you can see how much weight a serving is, you kind of just pour out however much you want. But so that's 4 servings of the powdered peanut butter. And you're supposed to reconstitute it, right? Of course it's powdered, but I'm not going to use water. I'll put some of this sugar-free syrup on there. And just because it says sugar-free does not mean that there's no calories. You gotta read into the nutrition label a little bit closely. So 30 milliliters, so 2 servings of this. It's going to be the equivalent of 10 calories. So I'll just plug that in as 2.5 grams of carbs. I'm not kidding when I say you got to pretty much be OCD with this sort of stuff. Because if you let a lot of it just get, lost, then you're not going to be able to freaking make progress. At least not consistently, of course. You got to know exactly how much stuff is going into your body and then be able to see how that relates to your weight changing. So let's mix this up. And I think that should be just about enough for this to turn into kind of a normal consistency. But I guess I've got to look at the calories again. It's been a while since I've, mixed some of this up. But this will just turn into some, keto bread powdered peanut butter sandwiches. And so the only reason why I think to add that low sugar syrup is because the peanut butter itself, the powdered peanut butter, it's really not that sweet. Like it's kind of, I don't want to say bitter, but when you mix it up with water, it's a little bit chalky. So, I've kind of got a bit of a sweet tooth, right? As has been shown by the bulk videos. So if I can have a little sweeter version, then that's perfect. So I'll just spread some of this onto here like so. And then I'll count it's going to take me a second to add up all the macros, but we can go discuss some other topic while I sit here and chow down on these. I guess all I'm really missing now is some fucking 0 sugar jam or something. I'm sure that's around. I was thinking this to myself. For the next bulk, I need to get some Uncrustables in the freezer. Just because those are so easy to eat. And what's one Uncrustable? It's got to be at least 200 something calories. I could just bring that with me to class or wherever else. And I mean, foods that you can eat easily on a bulk are probably the ones that you're going to want to prioritize. So don't let this get dry either. If you let this sit and get dry, you're going to have a problem trying to clean it out. So I'm not going to clean it now, but I'm going to let it soak. So let's go sit down and see how these taste. All right, so I just added everything up. Immediately after I eat anything, or even if I'm planning to eat something, I'm going to preemptively put it into the fucking stupid simple macro tracker. I'm probably going to say the name of the app about 1 billion more times. Hopefully you'll listen. But these all together were this whole plate. Give me your estimation. How many calories for 3 peanut butter sandwiches? Would you guess? It's a good guess. 310 calories, 30 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 25 grams of carbs. Sweet. So now I just get to sit here and enjoy. With the bread itself, since it's made of, it's got to be made out of something, right? It's primarily dietary fiber, insoluble dietary fiber. So I'll admit it doesn't taste as good. It's like normal bread. If I were to get a legit, like, maybe get fancy with it, get a brioche bun and put some real peanut butter on it. Well, actually, this peanut butter is pretty comparable, honestly. The peanut butter part's good. But the bread, all the keto bread, or if you get like keto tortillas or, keto sliced bread, keto bagels, it's not as good as the real thing, but it's pretty good. So yeah, this should be a lot more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Yeah, this would be a lot less sweet if it wasn't for the 0-calorie syrup. I don't know where I came up with that, but that is the best. I mean, sometimes I won't even put it on like the keto stuff itself. I'll just have that bowl of it, and I'll like scoop it up with some, keto tortillas, or you can do celery, whatever. I mean, think about this. These 3 little sandwiches is the equivalent calories of 1 single cheeseburger from McDonald's. And I know for a fact these are going to make me feel much more full. So again, prioritizing volume over density. This is the way to do it. So I think I'm going to go to the rec center for arms tonight. I'm not insane. Well, I guess I am kind of picky with what gym I go to. That's why I go to so many. But with arms especially, really all I need is like cables and dumbbells. Pretty much any gym has that. I mean, Planet Fitness is perfect for arms. Cables for push downs, and then dumbbells for curls. And they've got a couple of good preacher machines too. I have a little bit of an on-off relationship with that one tricep extension where it looks like a preacher, but then you push like this. And that's the only one I'm a little finicky about. But, if you've got access to basic stuff, you can go fucking hard. I mean, I've had crazy chest days and crazy back days in the basement gym. I guess you got a glimpse of that in the last video. And I mean, all I was doing was like incline barbell bench, and then some, dumbbell flies with the dumbbells I have, and then like hex press, stuff like that. If you want to have a good workout, you can do it without relying on really specialty equipment. I guess I'm a little bit hypocritical about that, because I'm always complaining that I want to use like a really fancy overhead tricep machine to get a lot more stretch on the long head. But, you can make do. I've said this before. A good craftsman doesn't blame his tools. So, I'm going to sit here on TikTok for a few minutes, finish this off, and then I'd say in maybe, this isn't a big meal. I don't mind eating pretty close to the lift. I would, like, if I'm bulking, I would not want to eat like a full bulked meal and then lifts like right then. I want to wait probably at least an hour for everything to settle. But when I'm cutting down, since I'm not eating so much food, my stomach really doesn't get upset. So I'm thinking maybe 30 minutes-ish, get the pre set up, and then we can go hit arms.